All right, welcome to the forest. So this is probably the best sap running day we've had so far. So it's February the 8th, and it's about 4 degrees and sunny. Both those things are important. And I wanted to give a little tour of my sap collection situation. So I haven't got it totally set up yet, in the sense that I don't have all my lines run, and I don't have all my taps in, and I don't have all my solar panels set up, because this has all been kind of frantic to catch this run. But here's what we got going on. I have a diaphragm pump that is a SureFlow 4048, and it's hooked up to this crazy spaghetti manifold thing. So it's got a strainer just so it catches any big chunks of ice or any wood shavings from putting the taps in. And then coming over here, these are all brewery fittings. So that's a 3-way valve. We've got a bypass, so you can see on the top of the valve we have our little, that's the direction of travel inside the valve. So we've got a bypass here, which I could plug into anything. Right now it's just air, so if it's going to be really cold, I can switch off from the manifold of incoming sap and just make it have air go through the pump so that it doesn't freeze up and break on me if it's going to be quite cold. Over here we have multiple 4-way fittings. So it's all brewery stuff. And inside here, these are special sap fittings that have 3 5/16 barbs on them. You can get ones that have 6 5/16 barbs, but they were sold out, and I'm glad I did this. I thought, I'll just get some 3s for now, which is good, because then I was able to catch this run and get a little bit of early season light syrup for 2024. So all these are pulling vacuum into the manifold situation through the valve into the pump, which has been putting it into my food grade tank. So the other stuff we've got going on here is there is an automotive relay, there's a distributor block, or a bus, I guess, not sure what it's called. And then over here we have a temperature sensor. So the temperature sensor right now is set to turn the pump on to create vacuum in the system when it's 1 degree, this is in Fahrenheit, above freezing, and then it turns off when it's freezing. So right now I have a master switch for the pump, on, off. So I turned it off because I just hooked up an additional vacuum line, that one there. I finished it yesterday. I let the gravity clean the line out, and I just hooked it up. So I'm gonna turn it back on and see what happens. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the pump on. So it's pulling air right now. It's pulling air right now from the bypass, and what I'm gonna do is switch it over to the system now. So the reason that I had that was when I put the pump on, when I hooked the new line up, I wanted to keep the vacuum that I had created in the system in there, so I shut off the valve. There is a tiny air leak, so it would, over a long period of time, lose the vacuum, but as you can see in here, we've got a good amount of sap coming out of it, so check this out. So we've got 2 days of this sort of beautiful sunny weather. I don't think it's going to freeze tonight, so we're going to get one good day of a run today, and then it's probably going to stop and it starts to get cold. We're going to have a bit of a freeze coming up. So I wanted to see if I could test the system, get a few 100 gallons of sap, and then I can test out my new evaporator. And yeah, we can just do a test run before we get in the season proper. So over here I have some, again, not quite complete solar situation. So I've got a big old 24 volt, what would that be, 3x5 or whatever, that I got for free because it has cracked glass, but it's still running somewhat efficient, so it's good enough for something like this. I believe it came from a residential project. And then I have these are some panels that have just been kicking around from my from my electric fences and all the other baloney that I got going on around the farm during the summertime. So I got to bring out some wood. I'm going to build that into a nice frame and put it more into the clearing over there. But for the time being, just to get caught up, I wanted to get it up and running and make sure we've got good voltage and I have the wiring figured out. Here comes the ultimate spaghetti. This is my battery situation. So I've got two 100 amp hour marine batteries in there. Seems to be good. If it's sunny like this, I can keep up with the panels I have. But I think if it's like a warm, cloudy day, I'm gonna have to get a third battery out here so that I can hold strong voltage in between the sunny days. Anyways, so that's that's the big new setup here on the farm. We used to be all buckets, and now we're moving into the the 20th century. Anyway, that line here is the new one that I hooked up. So it's pulling all the bubbles out of it. I'll go along and inspect it, make sure I'm not pulling air from anywhere else. And yeah, it's exciting here. So hopefully by the end of the day, we'll have most of that tank filled up. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later. I'll just give you the backstory here. I was actually finished the video and then I was looking around, and then I've got some shenanigans going on here in one of my vacuum lines. So let's get the line between us. You can see the bubbles are marching by here. So let's see these bubbles marching by. So see how they're at regular intervals, and they're roughly the same size. That means that we've got a leak somewhere further down the line. So what you do is you go for a little forest walk through all this scrubby crap that you trip over and die, like that. And you just keep walking and you follow the bubbles. Dun, dun, dun. See? No bubbles, bubbles. My line came off the tap and I'm not sure how. Anyway, the vacuum's still pulling, but not great, so we better get that hooked up. Of course, I don't have shoes on, so that's difficulty level 5,000 anyway. Can't get my boot high enough. Can I do it if I don't have boots on? It's just nothing to fucking grab. Okay, well, 20-year-old me would have been depressed at how hard that was, but 38-year-old me's impressed I did it at all. So what you can see here is now I've stopped the vacuum leak. So you'll see occasional bubbles. We're going to be pulling the rest of the air out of that line. So I'm not sure why that spile was it was very easy to put the tube back on, so that might be a problem one. I'll have to keep an eye on that later. Anyways, now's the real end of the video. Thanks for watching.